Fort Worth, Texas, and Amon G. Carter Stadium, home of the TCU Horned Frogs. Today, we have one of those games that tests your focus. Top 25 team against an unranked opponent. Can you take care of business? As we'll see a team from the Pac-12, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the winners of 4 straight, the TCU Horned Frogs. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. The Horned Frogs will put total weather to crank us up. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. This crowd bringing an ear-splitting welcome to their visitors. The inside handoff. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, we clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. On second down, wants to throw. Quickly out to the tight end. And he's down at the 41. That's a first down. It's not just the dual threat guy. You go back to Dan Fouts or Bill Musgrave or even Justin Herbert, and passers not in short supply for the Ducks.
And when you think about the Ducks, you always think about the fancy uniforms. I think that's one of the first things that come to mind, but the guys you just named, it's been built on flash, but it's also been built on substance. Great players in their tradition, in their history, and just like now, just in the recent history, Bo Nix, another one of those guys that's put up big numbers.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. In that time, quarterback, nice job, buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield, nothing there, so instead of throwing it away, getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
Leaves it with the running back. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Getting some heat. And they got him for the sack.
You're not going to win a lot of games if you can't protect your quarterback. In their last game, they got sacked 4 times, lost the game. And so far in this one, they're having difficulty again. These guys up front have got to do a better job communicating and giving their QB time.
Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the... First down here for the offense. They're going to test that run defense to the right here.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
The big pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and 1. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
Loss of 1 on the play. Third down coming up.
These are the types of plays where offenses impose their will. Third and short from the 45. To the ground to try to pick up the first. Coming through with that third down conversion, and they'll mark it at the 43.
This offense has to get this guy the ball in as many ways as possible. He showed you all of his tools on that last play.
And the Horned Frogs will line it up on 1st and 10. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
You got to fight fire with fire. You got to fight speed with speed. There's a receiver with the ball out in the open field trying to get the corner, but a cornerback with the same type of speed and athleticism able to make the tackle. Nice job.
Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He looks that one in nicely. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's 3rd best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
That last completion still leaving them with a 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The Horned Frogs line up to punt it away. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too...
Oh, he wants it all. Hits him inside the 20, still going. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon! They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 7-0. That's the kind of drive everybody loves. OC, quarterback, one snap, put it in the end zone. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Oh, he's going to take a chance. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. Don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
On the run, it's Clark. Finally pulled down, but not before. Moving the chains for a first down.
Well, there we go. We finally see some life in this offense running the football. Nice game to pick up the first down. Got to get more of that going moving forward because they have not run it well.
And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. Fast motion from the offense. He wants to throw. Finds space on the right. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
I'll tell you, for this defense, they're going to have to find a way to bracket this slot receiver because of how athletic he is. They're going to need to make sure they've got linebackers and DBs surrounding this guy at all times.
Going up top on first down. Unloads it left. Throws it in. Open runway ahead. And he'll take it all the way. They couldn't bring him down. Touchdown, Horned Frogs!
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there, a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. They'll try the run. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain. No matter what uniform the Ducks are rocking, they are dressed for success on the ground.
Yeah, and that's who they are, right? They're dressed for success. They run the football, and then after that, what do? They run it some more, and they run it fast. Every Oregon team always been built on that tempo and ground game.
Quarterback now breaking the field.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
On second down, just keeps firing. Finds his tight end. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down.
Good enough for a first down. That's the end of the first quarter, with the score tied at 7.
The Ducks come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to move it through the air. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. At the 40, there he goes. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
This guy just gives you nightmares. I mean, he's just got so much electricity. He just pulls it down and chews up yards like it's nothing. That's a quarterback. A quarterback doing that to your defense.
Looking to go up top on first down. Trying to make magic on the scramble. Headed to the end zone. And he's out of bounds just short of the goal line. But are they ever in business now?
It's just so hard to stop. There is no rhyme. There is no reason. He just scrambles around, makes people miss, and the next thing you know, you look up and he's 20, 30 yards down the field, and there's nothing you can do about it.
On the option. And he'll finish the run and the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks!
This guy just has a nose for the end zone, and you love his ability to find creases, use his speed in the open field, and go score. He's been really good for his offense early this year. That already his 5th rushing touchdown on the season.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, fellas, here's a quick update on a top 15 clash today. Miami is currently trailing, but if this young star leads a comeback today, He could join Vinny Testaverde and Gino Torretta in the pantheon of greats to play at the U. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Cal. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this one.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
I love that play call. This offense is going to run the football. They're not just going to do it between the tackles, but they're going to attack you outside. You saw that with that handoff. They get to the right. They get him in space using his speed. Good play call.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Quarterback checking off. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Finds his big tight end. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route running. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots and zones. You got to get him involved.
All the way down to the 15-yard line. It's first down. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, TCU.
And what a push up front by this offensive line. Everyone playing in unison, driving out of their stance, working into the second level, hats on hats, creating a lane for that running back.
And the kick is good, but there's a penalty flag, and I think it's going to be roughing the kicker. All tied up and just about set to kick it away. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. First down for this offense. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
They'll try to get the edge with the toss play here. Pretty good job of running to get 2 there to the 32.
And the running back didn't get much there. Nice job by the defense. You can tell they're focused in on this running back, on this run game, being physical, getting knockbacks, and limiting his carries.
Wants to throw on 3rd. They're trying to get to it. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming.
3rd and short like that on your own side of the field, you're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls incomplete.
A couple of yards shy of the first down marker, but they've decided this is 4-down territory. The offense still on the field. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Trying to make magic with his feet. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down.
Sometimes these guys just have eyes in the back of their head. You saw it right there. He was able to buy himself time, get outside the pocket, and at that point, I think the decision was pretty easy. Hey, I can go get this with my feet. He was able to do that. Now they got a fresh set of downs.
He's going to pass. Dances away from the heat. He's going to take off. He scrambled forward and got a few and turned that into a positive play.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
This offense has a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. Here he goes breaking the pocket. At the 35, he's open. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Man, that's so frustrating. And it happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
The Ducks are on the move. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. The back goes in motion. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Using the quick game. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down.
It's really nice to be a quarterback in today's football when running backs are basically wide receivers. Not only can you split them out, you keep them at running back, nothing open, I dump it to him. Look at that. He makes a big play for me.
The clock has stopped, and we've reached the 2-minute warning before halftime. And the Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. You'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a 1st without scoring. He's looking for a man on 2nd down. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
From the gun on 3rd down. Steps away. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
He was trying to push it downfield. He was looking for a receiver, trying to make a play. You could tell the pressure started to get to him a little bit. Nowhere to go with the football, and just fights back to the line of scrimmage.
This crowd busting the decibel meter and trying to will a 4th down stop. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. They got him. It's a sack, and what a stop for this defense to turn it over on down.
I know that was tough, but as a quarterback, you got to know on 4th down, you cannot take a sack. Any way, shape, or form, you've got to be able to get rid of that football and give it an opportunity. That time, I know it wasn't blocked perfect, but the quarterback's got to have more sense of urgency.
TCU will send its offense back onto the field. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
You know, you start day 1 of training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a 1st down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. And not sexy, they're not pretty, but in the end, they're effective, and they get you that new set of downs when you need them.
Wide out in motion. He's looking to throw it. Gets it out quickly. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
Wants to fire on second down. Trying to escape and get it himself. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
Yeah, I think you're just seeing the experience this guy has, right? He's so poised that initially he's flushed out of the pocket, nothing's open, and he doesn't panic. He's not throwing it away. He's not sliding early. He just knows where the defense isn't, and he's able to attack that space with his speed and get a positive play.
Makes the stop at the 49, but not before he gets in plus territory, gets 15 and a first down.
Nice job by the QB, sitting back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through his progressions. Nothing home, take off and slide. I love this slide at the end. Don't take a big shot.
And he's left with no option. He just threw it away.
Like the job by the defense there in coverage. They took every option away from the quarterback. He was outside of the pocket, nowhere to go with it, so they forced the incompletion throw away.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. He wants to throw here on second down. Now he's going to break the pocket. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left.
Nice job by the quarterback trying to buy time and scrambling to the right, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
One more snap coming before halftime. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. On fourth down, they'll pass for it. Now improvising. Now he'll let one fly down the left side. Pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for the first half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. We're all locked up here in the third quarter as he's set to kick it away. He'll call for the fair catch here. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
Ball sitting right at the 30. It'll be third and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires the pass, intercepted. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. These last couple of drives, Jesse, have been about the defense making clutch stand.
I think for this offense, they can stay aggressive knowing that their defense is going to bail them out time and time again here.
Yeah, and especially when you go for those fourth down situations, you do that a lot of times because you know your defense can make stands, make stops. They did on that last possession play.
This offense trying to quieten the crowd on 1st and goal, and they are not cooperating. He'll set up to throw. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon! And that one will put them up here in the second half. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. Notre Dame escaped with the victory, and I say escaped. Look, in college football, teams will take any win, but I think the Irish fans there today could have done without this one being so close. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way, but I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the first down.
This offense all game long has been running really well, and I'm really impressed by how well they've recruited at the running back position. They've got some dynamic players coming into the game at different points, spelling each other, keeping each other fresh, and they're hurting this defense.
They wrestle him to the ground, but he's got plenty for a first down.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays.
Welcome to Fort Worth, Texas, and Amon G. Carter Stadium. At any time the TCU Horned Frogs take the field, they have a standard, a legacy to live up to. One that was established by the likes of Slingin' Sammy Baugh, Davey O'Brien, and LaDainian Tomlinson. We have a ranked versus unranked battle coming up here. You know how chaos can ensue if they start smelling an upset. As we'll see a squad from the Pac-12, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the winners of 4 straight, the TCU Horned Frogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollock, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Ducks will put total leather and we'll get started. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. Here comes the offense on first down. Handoff from the gun. Crosses the 30 to the 31. Ace.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
6-yard pickup on first down leaves him with 2nd and 4. From the gun, the ground game. Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33.
I like the decision there in the RPO game too, guys. I know he only got a couple of yards, but that play's going to open up bigger opportunities throwing the football down the field in the RPO game too. So keep handing it off to this guy. Let him see what he can do. And when the defense gives you the look to hold the football and then finally throw it, that's when you take advantage.
And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it.
And I think on that last run play on third down here early in the game, they're making a statement that we believe we're the more physical team and we're going to run the football even if you know it's coming at you. Nice job. They got the ball at midfield. I expect to see more run plays coming up.
Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. After getting moved back, it's 1st and 20. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Now on the move. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
They've softened them up with a run. Now to throw it. Oh, he's going to try to hit him deep. And he hauls it in inside the 30. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds. And the Horned Frogs are moving quickly down the field. On the run, it's Clark. Brought down after a pickup of 2 to the 19.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Got his man quickly. And into the end zone. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game, get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. How about this crowd rattling the rafters and trying to help their defense? They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Working the middle, it's complete. Brought down at the 26 after a 15-yard pickup.
Ooh, that's a nice throw. Great accuracy there. And you think about Oregon quarterbacks, I know we think about guys running around a little bit, but think back to guys like Dan Fouts, A.J. Feely. How about that name? Joey Harrington, of course, Justin Herbert. These guys could thread the needle from the pocket, make all the throws. This guy here reminds me a little bit of them.
I love when QBs break the pocket and still look to attack. Because as soon as you break the pocket, I'm thinking, oh, man, he's going to take off and run, and I might come up. But those big plays can be made down the field. Nice job by the quarterback keeping his eyes down the field.
He'll come out throwing on first down. Going up top. And he makes the catch inside the 25. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23. What a nice throw there, just carving up the defense. You make these types of passes downfield, and reminds me of Justin Herbert just carving up Arizona State for nearly 5 bills.
Yeah, just making big plays in the passing game. This offense is built on the run. It always has been. It always will be. That's what the Ducks hang their hat on, but making those explosive plays down the field when the defense slips up and loses a little bit of eye discipline.
Firing to the right, complete. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
Everybody holds their breath when this guy has the ball. On defense now, you got to stop the bleeding because you're allowing one of the best at his position in the sport of college football. Now have back-to-back catches. You better be anticipating this offense going back to him again right here.
On the option. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. The Ducks want to move quickly. They'll run the option. And he never had a chance to get the pitch off on the option as he's tackled in the backfield.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
So loud it's rattling your fillings on 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. And it's caught! Touchdown, Ducks!
Touchdown.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
Lining up to add another. Hit that one with some aggression for the point after. And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. And here's the return. He's not going to make it to the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 17. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you know, you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, run and pass. No, when you throw that good, spin the ball around.
So the defense has to find a way to affect the quarterback on this drive because last drive he had way too much time to throw.
Dialing up a second down pass play. Nothing to do with the football, and he just throws it away. It'll be third down.
A nice job by the quarterback there. You're outside the pocket, nobody's open, so you throw the ball away knowing that you still have more chances to get this first down.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. They'll leave it with him. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. That time the defense called it at the perfect time. The linebacker able to make the stop on a short gain.
And from the offense's perspective, that's probably making a little something out of nothing. Sends his first one of the day on the way. We didn't see much of him in that victory last week, just called on one time. And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. The offense lining up for a first down play. He wants to throw. Pressure coming. He'll pull it down. At midfield, he's got room. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. First down to start the drive after the break. Looking to move it through the air. Moves around to clear up the vision. Quickly to the tight end. Snowed under by the defense. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
On second down, he's looking downfield. Pocket starts to collapse. He is brought down, but man, what a job to find some running room and move the chains.
I just love this guy's instincts, right? When things aren't open right away, he never panics. He just understands the situation where he is on the field, and he's so confident in his own natural ability that he has the ability to run, go get the first down, keep this drive rolling.
Pulled down after a pickup of 6, but he gets it inside the red zone. It's down at the 15.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making a good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
to the ground with the back. He almost punched it in for 6. They'll get him down at the 1-yard line.
This running back loves running into the teeth of the defense. In between the tackles, he keeps a low pad level, and he's got some speed.
And the Ducks trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. They'll dial up the run on 1st and goal. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide on these situations. You know the physical ground game comes into play inside the 5-yard line, and they match the intensity. Nice job. Everybody flying around to the football, making the tackle for a loss. Nice job by this defense.
Corner's right up on that line of scrimmage. On the option. He'll pitch it. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Oregon! They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey, fellas, here's a quick update on a top 15 flash today. Miami is in the unusual position of having to come from behind right now. But those fans that were there when the U was the U, they know this game is not over. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Cal. For now, it's back to you fellas. But, of course, if anything changes, we'll see it right here.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Bulls his way forward. Crosses the 30. He's got away. He got a bunch and looked close to getting a lot more, but he's got the first down.
And that is exactly why you stick to running the football. Haven't had a lot of success, but boom, you pop one, right? That's what you got to do. You cannot become one-dimensional and just throw the football every down. Love the offense, sticking to the run. Nice job getting the first down.
And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play. 8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and short. He's looking to throw. Going for the big play. Fires into a world of traffic, and it's picked off. They didn't give him much of a chance to make that play even bigger, but the turnover has him set up at the 16.
Man, that is how you get it done as a defense when you're playing cover 1. Like, you got the middle of the field safety, but everybody else is manning up. Nice job running with this guy, seeing the football, breaking on it, making the interception, making the big play for this defense.
They're going to throw it to start the drive. He's going to swing it into the heart of the field. He fires back across the field, and it's intercepted. Didn't really get a chance to get started on that return, but he has set him up at the 41-yard line.
And that's why as quarterbacks you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching him. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
He wastes no time and comes out throwing. He's going to run it. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
Man, it's nice to have a quarterback that just does that, man. Just effortlessly picks up chunks of yards and then smartly gets out of bounds. But this whole offense, man, everybody's a threat. Anybody can take the football and make big plays. And when you got a quarterback with that much athletic ability, it's an absolute nightmare for defenses.
Using his legs, it's smart. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
3rd down coming up.
A 3rd down play coming from the 32 as they try to keep the drive going. Wide receiver shows motion. A run for the quarterback. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
Loss of 4. Now, a 4th down.
The clock has reached the 2-minute mark, and they have a chance to at least cut into this lead before the break. The Horned Frogs will try to pick it up on 4th down. Motion from the offense. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Fires to the right. Makes the grab, and he's got the first. Touchdown, TCU! Hauled it in and just kept right on running to the hallelujah land.
Yeah, and the passing game comes through, man, and we need more of that in the second half. An extra point away from tying this football game. We trailed a little bit in the first half. We stayed calm. If this passing game can continue to heat up, look out in the second half.
And he knocks the extra point through the upright. Surely they're going to kick this thing away. Tied in the second quarter. They're lined up for an onside kick. They recover their own fumble. Somehow, who knows how they got that thing back.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of these. You don't see a lot of onside kicks earlier in the game, especially in the second quarter. You still feel each other out. You're still getting into the game. You don't want to give away that momentum, but that's exactly what they did by failing on that onside kick.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
A first down for the offense. He's looking to throw. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. Corralled and brought down by the defense.
This is why everybody grows up and wants to be an offensive coordinator and not a defensive coordinator, because he can do that. He drops back, he's supposed to pass, but you know what? I'll just scramble around, and I'll just go get plenty of yards and pick him up and put him down, and I'm faster than most of your other guys too, so good luck stopping him.
On second down, they'll take to the air. Quarterback on the move, still looking. Got his man. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Nice job by the receiver on the back end there, too. He sees his quarterback on the run moving, and he just works to get himself open to give his guy a place to throw the football. They're able to connect, and they keep the drive going.
Down to the 26-yard line and a first down. He'll ride his man on the option. Past the first down marker and still running. And he froze that defender. He thought he was going to pitch it, kept it himself, and turned it into a big play. There was a time when if you had a guy who runs like he does, that you move him to a different position. Not anymore, man. These quarterbacks can run and throw.
Yeah, back in my time, I was throwing to guys like that. I certainly wasn't moving like it, but boy, oh boy, you hold your breath every time he takes off because that guy might be the fastest player on the field.
Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. They need 7 more yards to reach the end zone. It's second and goal. They'll run the option. Now the toss. And that one will go in reverse. The defense all over that pitch on the option.
Now listen, the defense won that play. As an offense here, the key, David, you can't go back-to-back negative plays. You got to be smart with the football here. Looks like you're going to have to throw it. You just can't force it. You got to make sure you're playing with that clock in your head. You can't take a sack.
And I think this is a situation where I spread you out. I get more speed on the field. I make the defense declare. I see what they're in, but I'm definitely throwing the football.
Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. And they decide to trot out the kicker. He'll line it up from 34 yards out. He splits the uprights and puts 3 on the board. And now they take the lead. So they put the field goal on the board and about to kick it away and hoping that'll be the final points of this first half. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes and they'll stop him at the 16. TCU has it back and the Horned Frogs go on offense. Now they're backed up here, Jesse. Wonder how aggressive they're willing to be.
I think it's going to come down to how much confidence they have in this quarterback and his decision-making, because you cannot throw an interception at this part of the field with this little time left.
And I think that's conversations you've had with a young fellow on the sidelines. Be like, what are you comfortable with right here that we can run? Maybe stay aggressive, but make sure I don't make that mistake.
He chucks one out to the right. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
He'll off one deep down the left side. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
On 4th down, looking to pass. He'll take another shot here. Can't hook up on the long throw, and 4th down goes by the boards for this offense.
There are analytics out there in college football that say maybe you can go for that at that point of the field here in the first half. It's still early. If you don't get it, you can come back later in the game, make it up, score some more points, and that mistake will be erased. The problem is right now at this juncture of the game, that was a big-time error. The fact that you didn't get that, you're now gifting your opponent points.
We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Horned Frogs will kick it off to start the second half. From inside the 15, here's the return. And the coverage team able to make